And we're back with the second half of my hard enduro race here at the Donner Extreme Hard Enduro up by Truckee. If you watched the first half, you can see it was a struggle for me, and that's just going to be the theme for the second half as well. Nothing is going to come easy for me. I'm still going to pick many wrong lines, many bad choices are coming up. But the fight continues. You can't give up. You can't get beaten by the hard enduro. So we got to finish out this rock section here. Like right there, I could have went left, had a clean shot. I went right. It just never ends. The bad choices. People are watching what I'm doing and going around me. They're like, this idiot doesn't know where he's going. Coming up to this little snow section here, there's a little wedge you can go down between the rocks. Some people have been launching it, going left here. I can't imagine, because you're landing in snow. I'm sure would have been an awesome spot for somebody to be capturing all those crashes. I get hung up here, have to pull the back end over a little bit to line up the bike, go through the snow, skiing down like everyone else. I'm just kind of relieved. No more slabs. I'm like, finally, I just need a break and catch my breath. One thing the snow is doing, it's really nice, is it's wetting down the terrain here, cooling everything off. You know, there's a little bit of breeze on top of this mountain top here, and it was just nice and cool. I needed it. I was sweating really bad through here. There's two races going on this weekend. There's the there's the Hard Enduro race, which is today, and then tomorrow is going to be the Hare Scramble. And they have a lot of, I think, crossing courses. And right here, I think, is one of the places where both courses cross, and they had arrows and tags and lines going all over the place. It was a little confusing at certain points. Especially, there's no one in front of me that I could follow to see if they're going the right way. Here's one of the points. So you can keep going to the left here, which you can see a lot of people have been doing. So you can see the tire marks, or you go cut to the right. And it took a little bit. I figured you cut to the right, and you got to go a little bit before you can see the arrows marked on the trees again. Up to a little creek crossing. There's a guy in the middle. I get stuck in this middle section. I hear someone behind me. I look back, and there's a Cooper Abbott. So I gotta get the hell out of his way. Or maybe I'm helping him take a breather. You never know. Maybe he's like, sweet, I can take a little rest. I get out of the way, and naturally he just blasts right through it, no problem. So I didn't really slow him down that much. This whole second half of the race is much more woody. A lot of fallen logs everywhere, which I love. I love the fallen logs. Whenever I go trail riding, I love when there's a log in the trail, because it's, to me, a good challenge. I know a lot of trails, they cut them. They cut them with a chainsaw. And I'm like, why? Just leave a couple logs for guys like me who like to hurt themselves and punish the bikes. That's great that they had a lot of logs in the second half of the race here. Sweet, hit the log and don't clear it. Damn it. Good. I do a lot of practicing at my house. I got fallen logs, I got telephone poles. I love practicing on them. I think my conditioning is so bad that all these little logs, I mean, it's not even a big one, and I'm still struggling to get over it. love these little creek sections. When you trail ride, usually you don't find trails like this anywhere. You know, they're groomed trails, are well taken care of. They don't just allow riders to blast through the creek. So it's awesome that we get to ride that terrain here. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I'm actually doing pretty good. I'm making some ground. I'm making my way through here. Not the fastest, of course, but I'm not getting stuck right here, so I'm happy with myself. Another log coming up. Hit it! Hit it! Get over it! Ah, why? I'm not zapping enough. I'm not giving it enough juice. The log is not that big. I mean, I've done logs 3, 4, or 5 times that big. And this little log, I guess it's just, I'm so wore out. My confidence is down. That's what it is. There goes Colton. I think Max is behind him. Getting some footage of Colton going through. This style riding, I can do this all day long. It's fun. Especially when a tree tries to decapitate you. I love it. Up ahead here, there's a big mud pit. And you can go right and avoid the mud pit, which would have been smart. But let's go left because that's just how it's going. Go through the mud. I'm actually doing really good until I hit this rut. Boom, it just stops me right in my tracks. I almost fall flat on my back. It was a split second. I could just see myself all the way flat on my back in the mud. I save it, and then it's a struggle to get any traction from here. There's some roots under the rut you can't see, but they're holding me up. And I'm trying to push and push. I gotta get on my knees and finally get it out of here. Get through all that. There's Tristan Hart. Yeah. Passed me. He's on lap 3 or 4 now. I forgot now. But that's amazing. It's just incredible what those guys at that level can do. We're struggling here with 1 lap. He's done. I think he's on his 3rd one. That's what lap he's on. Incredible.
Handlebars are kind of wide.
Alright, here's the only relaxing point of the race where you can catch your breath. There was no obstacles. It was nice, just a nice little relaxing trail ride right now. Went riding in Idaho, and this up here reminds me of how the trails looked in Idaho. Coming up, we got some really rocky, chunky sections coming up, real bouldery. Have a checkpoint right here. It splits between the pro line and the amateur line. And at this, in the beginning, I wanted to hit the pro lines, but now I'm like, hell no, give me that amateur line. I'm all about going left right here. That was fine by me.
I twisted.
This side of the race, it's gonna get real chunky. Going through this open terrain. It wasn't hard, but you got to pick your line and be up on your pegs if you could. And then my legs were just shot, so I could stand when I got a chance to stand, or I could muster up the strength to stand, I would. And there's gonna be a lot of this. I had to cut out a lot of this section just because it goes on for a long time. You're just going over this bouldery, rocky trail. Such a great race today. The weather, I mean, look at this meadow. The flowers are blooming. If you're ever going to do a hard enduro, I recommend this one. I mean, it's going to beat you up for sure, but the views you get, the terrain you're riding is just amazing. Here's some of my fans cheering me on. Through the rocks, I know they're right there. I can't fall. There's a lot of pressure not to fall when you got people watching you. This part, the dirt is just fantastic. Got a little creek crossing, but look at that dirt.
Slippery rocks. That was deep. Woo!
So this goes on a while. You're going through this kind of sparse wooded section with just these cobblestone rocks beating you up. Log and see if I'm gonna do it. Come on, get it, hit it, goose it. Ah, all right, made it good, dude. Finally, I got something where it didn't kill me trying to get over it.
Woo! That looks bad.
These rock fields, they're just relentless. I can get through them, but man, they beat you up, that is for sure. Picking a line through here. Sometimes you just gotta go faster, maybe. Maybe the faster you go, the easier these rocks become. And on and on and on they go. It's just no giving up. Now we're coming up to the the log section. It's going to be hard as hell to get through. Got these teeny little guys to hop over, which are still giving me a... I don't know if you can hear my son right now. He's talking away. He was quiet this whole time. Now he's talking. He's gonna make the video, I guess. Anyways, get up here and eventually, come on, let's go, Georgia. I hear someone behind me, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go. Hopefully, it's not too hard. I'll go up and let this guy pass. got this is Kaylin to my right, one of the pro women riders. She's caught up on a rock, and I'm gonna get stuck here. So who's coming through? None other than the leader, Tristan Hart, lapping at me for the third time. That is just incredible. And to get to see his skills just that close is just amazing.
Go get Tristan. What do you need? Need help?
This guy's gonna get through. And then Kaylin, she asked for my help, so I'm gonna come over and pull on her front tire
I might fall before I even get
while
you.
she gets out of the
I'll
hole.
pull the
I can barely walk over there. I'm so fatigued. So Kaylin's unstuck now. I can
We'll
hop in
find
my
out, huh?
bike, get back to racing here. But she only goes 1 foot, gets stuck again. So then I have to drop my bike and go up or get unstuck.
You might.
That's how hard Enduro. You gotta help each other out getting through. So pulling the front tire again, she gets out. And then she offers to help me, but I'm just gonna send it. There you go. I'm over. Alright, just gave my son a little Tupperware lid. It seems to be distracting him at the moment. And I don't feel like going and re-recording that all again. These videos take forever if you gotta just keep going back, expecting everything to be perfect. Alright, so I'm over there getting over these logs. I'm just ghosting it, sending them. Everyone's dead. Get off your bike and just take a breather. Got more logs. This is just log after log after log in this section. And there's Haley,
No, I should have went that way.
and we're all getting hung up. I popped the clutch. Oh, I almost take it over backwards there. I caught it and was able to teeter-totter over the
Hope you got
log.
that on film.
I'm so happy. Oh, that worked out for me. This next set of logs is a double. And it's much lower on the left side. Of course, I go on the right side. It's the harder side. And they're small logs, and I get the wheel over, and then it gets wedged between the back. Oh, my son again. Gets wedged between the front of the engine there and the back of the wheel. And I'm kind of stuck for a minute, and I'm like, oh man, how the hell am I going to get out of it? But I finally right the bike, and 450 actually pushes the log. You see the log rolling? It actually pushes it and separates the log a little bit there. And then I was able to teeter it up and over. There's Ethan, he's an A rider.
Well done.
He's up and over the log, making it look easy.
Watch out, you're caught. Your foot's caught.
You don't want that ribbon all
Yeah,
stuck
there
in
you
your
go.
tire there, Ethan.
Quick.
Yeah, keep riding. A couple more logs to cross here. It's muddy. All the logs are slick. It's all good hard enduro stuff. Alright, just gonna pop over this one little log. It's the last of the log section. And I get hung up on this little Charlie Brown tree.
Nice to the tree.
If there was a rock, a tree, or a twig to catch on this race, I caught them all. And we're back into the rock gardens. That is gnarly rock gardens. I mean, these are just little basketball-sized boulders. You know, the Tennessee Knockout and some other hard enduros just get massive rocks to go over. But at this stage in the race, these rocks, they just wear you out. my legs, my arms are so wobbly. Afraid to get kicked out by a rock. A nice little mud section right here. Some people went right, and I was thinking about going right. Do I risk going through the mud or go right and go through the rocks? Did I mention there's some rocks here? These rocks are just beating me up. Oh my god. I'm cutting out all the times I have to stop and take a breather here. Tried to do some rock training. I went up above Shaver Lake. There's a lake called Courtright. You go above Courtright. There's a trail called the Doozy Trail, about 9,500 feet, and it's a Jeep trail, but it's all rocks. They got big rock gardens that the Jeeps have to cross. So I went up there and did a lot of training up there, thinking that would help me out. But one time doing it is not nearly enough. You need to hit that a lot more to get these rock gardens down. Right here, the tire slides on the log, and I kind of smacked my head on the ground, kind of rung my bell a little bit. This is Riley Bender. He took the overall first place for the B class, or the amateur division. He took first. It's pretty awesome. Good for him.
That's a bad one.
I had to get my senses a little bit. Rode a little extra slow, not like I was going fast, but just had to get my breath, get my bearings back after ringing my bell on that fall. This is a fun little creek section. It's the last fun little creek section until we go through the woods, I think, one more time, and then we're going to start the hill climb, which is the last big hill climb before it's all downhill to the finish line. Got this last little tree section, a couple little logs to hop over here. Surprising, I mean, you're so exhausted. This is 4 hours into the race. You're just dead as you can be, and you still, I don't know where you get the reserves to get energy to keep going. I don't even know if you call it reserves. I'm just hoping and praying. I'm just praying and praying at this point. This one I just gave up on it. I don't know why. It was a downhill, and I just gave up. I was like, I gotta go around. I don't have the energy. Get over the log. It's like the last two logs. Then we're done. Alright, we're done with the log section. Except there's one more right at the end that would get you. It was actually one of the biggest ones. It was like the last half mile of the race. But there's no more logs. Now it's just back into the rocks. And we'll have some muddy creek sections coming up here. There's a service road. The last checkpoint, I think, was here, and then the race had already ended. They were still allowing people through. So at this point, the race is actually over. The time section of the race is done. There's no more checkpoints that'll take your time. And we got about maybe 2.5 miles to go. Maybe 3. It's only, I think it's only a 11 or 12 mile course. So I guess it's still a big chunk to go. But the race and the terrain is so awesome. I'm just having a blast. I know I'm dead tired and my body's sore, but I'm just loving it. You don't get to ride this type of terrain all the time. I'm already thinking like, man, I need to train more. I need to get better conditioning. I need to practice like technique, do all these things, and at the same time, I love this ride. It's just so enjoyable. We got last big hill is coming up. We got a little creek section we got to go through. This little tree split was getting people. The guy in front of me just crashed. There's a little log right on the other side of the trees. You can see it there laying in it. Got me. Got the guy ahead of me. Here we go. Last little hill climb. Let's go. Let's do it, Trixie. I think this is the one part of the race I was expecting to have a little bit more of, was some just massive steep hill climbing, especially being on a ski resort, but there really wasn't any massive steep hill climbs. Nothing that was gonna take like 5 or 6 or 7 tries to get up a section, or they're so hard, like Erzberg, Bentonite, they got some hills that you're done, like you can't make it over that hill, like your race is over. So I was expecting that. I mean, this was probably the biggest hill climb of the day, and it wasn't too bad. I don't know what it is about hill climbing, but I love hill climbing. You get a lot of that down and out in the Tehachapi, Spangler, the Jawbone area, Barren Ridge, just huge, massive hills. So it was fun doing a little bit of hill. I would have liked to see a lot more big, massive hills. Here was a checkpoint. They had already stopped. There was a pro line to the right and then an amateur to the left. And this is actually a little step up right here. You had to gun it. So they weren't doing any more checks. See how windy it was on the top of this peak here. Going left, and I'm thinking we got to be getting close to the end. I guess we still had like 2 miles. This long downhill. I was picturing it in the winter, like this is covered in snow. how steep it would look if you were on skis going down. There was a big snow patch at the bottom. Over here, there's Mitch, goes around. I think this is Tim, Apollo, German rider. Pros, they take off. Alright, coming up to a little downhill. This was probably the steepest downhill. Which I do a lot of these. I got an area next to my house called Avenel, and even Jawbone, you know, just some super steep downhills, which I like. I'm very comfortable. You just got to be comfortable going downhill.
That was freaking sweet. Ooh.
I'm thinking we're going downhill like this is the last, like this is the end. You still got like another mile and a half till the end, but I was ready. I wish. Off to the left, you see the lodge, you can see the campgrounds, the RV, and you get the, just got to get home-itis, you know, you're just like, oh man, I just got to get home and finish. So close, I just want to be done.
You saw the trailers. Ah, yeah, buddy. I'm gonna finish this. Woo! Oh.
Another log coming on. This isn't the big log I was talking about at the end. Fortunately, my camera, the battery ran out, and I didn't get the very end. There was a pretty good size, I mean, pretty good sized log, and the guy ahead of me just totally ate it. Felt bad. He'd ride the whole race just to dump. He went off in the bushes, and I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take my time so I can finish this and not kill myself right at the end. Another little log. Right here you can see there's a service road to the right, and just like the end's got to be closed. We got to hit that service road, and you're kind of over it. I mean, this is awesome, but I'm like, my body needs to stop. But like I said, there's no, this hard enduro, there's no mercy here. Even at the end, there's this steep downhill. And once again, there's an easy way and a hard way, and I will manage to pick the hard route. So even at the end, it just never lets up.
gnarly. Yeah, go that way.
And we're coming up to the end of the race here for me. My battery died. I didn't get the last quarter mile of the race, but I did finish. My wife was there. I was so happy to finish. I was dead, but celebrated with some beers. Had a great time. Donna does a great event, and they have a big party afterwards. Definitely looking to coming back into racing here next year.
Yeah.
Till then,
Saw that light too.
get out and ride and get some.
That'll do it.
What was that?
Made it, right? This is like the end.
It's fire already. You hit a single stack.